This was my third Super Bowl halftime, and one of the biggest challenges was each of those 5 artists could have headlined themselves easily. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, 50 Cent. They could have done those 12 minutes and 30 seconds. My job, I was entrusted to make sure that everybody had their just due, everybody had their fair time allotment, and that for me, I did not leave the viewer wanting anything more or missing their favorite moments from each of their favorite artists. I took pride in really cultivating everybody's 90 to 100 seconds, and it came together to be what is now Emmy Award winning Super Bowl halftime. Hey Jazz. Yes. Yes, the catalog, she asked about the song choices. I dove heavily. I got the call for Super Bowl the October before Super Bowl happens, so approximately 4 months prior, knowing that these artists were all going to be headlining. And so about the catalog for choosing the songs, I knew how I wanted to start. I wanted to give this big overture, even though it was hip hop, so that would be Dr. Dre's song next episode. But then you span a catalog of 30 years per each of these artists. It took me some time to kind of put it together, to figure out what tempos matched, what keys matched, the story, the climax, and the peaks and valleys that I wanted to tell through music. I ended up choosing what I thought were hits that not only they wanted to do, but us as fans wanted to hear as well, because I'm a fan of each and every one of those artists, and it came together pretty good. I wanted to just give an incredible show, like I said, that people were really they didn't miss their favorite songs, you know what I mean? I had to make it a seamless transition. Yes, legacy, that word just means a lot to me. I have 2 children as well, and it's something to say about leaving something to them, leaving an award like this, and leaving recognition like this, and also just knowing that tomorrow is not promised. We've all been through this pandemic. We've all seen people come and go, and it feels really good to not only get a call to represent hip hop like this, but to put it on a grand stage. And a lot of my peers in that room over there, they just say it was a great music show. It wasn't about black or white. It wasn't about hip hop versus pop music or anything like that. I just pride myself on making that a great music show that will continue to show the legacy of each of those artists as we continue to move forward.
With all these amazing artists that you had to line up, what turned out to be the easiest part of making that happen, and what turned out to be the most challenging part?
The easiest part for me was when I get a call like Super Bowl, it's not because I've done anything right the days before. It's the 20 years of work that I put in. And so the easiest part, thankfully, is that each of those artists I've worked with at some capacity in the last 15, 20 years, and they trusted me knowing that I would represent them in the best way possible musically. So when they say, hey, I heard you have an idea, I heard you have a segue you want to try, I heard you want to change the key to this, change the tempo, tell me why, and let's make it happen. And that to me was the easy part, to just know that they trusted me. The hard part, like I said, I think was being in my head about, man, I'm not doing any song from Dr. Dre's The Chronic. Man, I'm not doing any song from Mary J. Blige's My Life album. I'm not doing any song from Eminem's first album, you know what I mean? So how did that affect the people watching? But I chose the songs that I chose, and it ended up being a very great show, and I think people enjoyed it as well, just as fans of music.
What did the artists tell you about that experience?
Specifically, I remember like it was yesterday, Kendrick Lamar, who happens to be the new guy of that crew, arguably a young legend as well. He just told me we stood at SoFi. He said, I can't believe that this stadium is not only in Inglewood. He never thought he would be there as a resident of Compton prior. And then he also said, just being in his hometown, it means something different. We did this for the culture, and it also inspires other people coming